Harper Perennial and HarperAudio present The Tennis Partner, A Doctor's Story of Friendship and Loss, by Abraham Verghese, performed by Shah. Dedication. For my sons Stephen, Jacob, and Tristan, and especially for Sylvia. In memory of David Smith, M.D., 1959 to 1994, James Searcy, 1936 to 1995, and Adolph Sanchez, 1950 to 1996. Prologue. He had started rounds at 5:30 in the morning, working his way from one room to the next, writing progress notes as he went. He was at the bedside of his last patient when his beeper went off. When he saw the number displayed, his throat constricted. A crimson flush spread up his neck to his cheeks. The elderly woman with Crohn's disease and a short bowel syndrome, who quite liked this blonde, boyish doctor, looked up at him with concern. A minute ago he had been listening to her heart. Now she could almost swear she heard his. He staggered out into the corridor and stood there, leaning on the chart rack. He took a step in the direction of the stairwell, then stopped, then took another step that way, then turned back. The flush on his face retreated, taking every drop of color from his skin until it matched the whiteness of the walls. His world and his vision narrowed, and he was unaware of the nurse who walked by him. He did not notice that his patient had come out of the bed, pushing her IVAC pump before her, the yellow, white, and clear bags dangling from their hooks. She stood staring at him through the doorway. With great difficulty, he wheeled the charts back to the nurse's station and took up his pen in a peculiar four-fingered, childlike grip. His hand trembling, he brought the progress note he was writing to a close. To anyone but a nurse, his handwriting would have been completely illegible. He did not answer the page from the phones nearby. Instead, he took the elevator down from the 5th floor to the lobby and walked directly to Dr. Lou Binder's office. Binder was waiting for the phone to ring. When he saw the intern in his doorway, he stood up. Before the intern could so much as open his mouth, Binder said, "Let's go to the lab." But the intern could not move. He held Binder's gaze for a second. Then his face crumpled, his shoulders sagged, and he slumped into a chair in front of Binder's desk. "What have you done?" Lou asked softly. The intern sobbed, but no words came out. An hour later, the two of them were at the El Paso International Airport, boarding a plane. Dr. Binder had not allowed him to go home for clothes. He had given one of his own jackets to the intern to put over his scrubs. The intern called his girlfriend from a payphone, but again the sobs robbed him of words. "I'm sorry," was all he could manage. On the plane, a flight attendant had to remind him twice to put on his seatbelt. He stared out the window as the plane took off, then made a steep, banking left turn, allowing him to see the hospital clearly, and a few blocks beyond it, the Rio Grande and Juarez, Mexico. The pilot leveled the plane, pointing it east for the 1.5-hour flight to Dallas. Soon, El Paso receded from view, and with it, his hopes and dreams. He had tried so hard, he told himself. Then he slapped himself in the face. Binder turned at the sound, but was not surprised. "Not hard enough," the intern said aloud, to no one but himself. In Dallas, Binder walked him over to the gate for the flight to Atlanta and handed him his ticket. "The Talbot Marsh Clinic is your only chance." The flight attendant collecting boarding passes could tell this was a significant leave-taking. She had a good sense about people, knew how to read the signs.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?